As much as I loved The Bear season 1, I think the most beautiful thing about it was the ending. How you get this sense of feeling that everything's going to be okay. When he sees his brother, the ghost of his brother, and there's smiles, and the music is perfect. You wouldn't really normally associate Radiohead with, joyous celebrations, but it worked perfectly. I loved it. I thought it was great. Everything that I had feared about it, about not liking it, actually became reasons that I liked it. I didn't want to be stuck in the kitchen for 6 years. And then I thought to myself, actually, I really appreciate that they're just trying to do this one thing really well. They're not trying to be multitasking at these different jobs. They're not trying to do too much in their personal lives. They're just trying to figure out something, particularly the main character. You get the sense that we're watching him in real time figure something out, right? And it's a slow process. And in the meantime is the day-to-day. You have to go through the day. You have to take care of business. And it's just one business. It's the restaurant. It's cooking. It's making food. It's enjoying that environment. They all love it. They're all there because they are addicted to it. And those moments where you see them slowly cutting something and putting all of their concentration into it is beautiful. And I think that's maybe why it's so appealing to people, is the rest of the world kind of falls away and it's just this one thing. What this show has done is what I think every show wants to happen, which is I care about each and every character. And it's so different than when I first tried watching it maybe a couple years ago, and I didn't care because all I felt was the anxiety, the kitchen, all that. The beginning, probably of any show is like a flurry of characters. It's anxious, it's tense, and I just kind of pushed it away. But this time, going back and just letting the dust settle and, getting to know each person, you start to realize, it's not very many people actually. It's like 4, 5, 6 people associated with the restaurant or who are friends or family members. It's not many people. And once I realized that, once I got comfortable with that really just let me get into the story. And there's so many beautiful monologues. There's so many beautiful moments. And I don't know. I can't wait for season 2. I can see how this is going to be one of the best shows I've seen in some time, which I would not have said to you a couple years ago when I tried to watch it. I don't really have any criticisms, but I have a couple of things that came to mind after the beautiful ending, which I loved. But I have 2 questions, and I'm sure one of them will be answered in future seasons. But one of them is, if you owe someone $300,000 or whatever it is, and your restaurant or your business is failing, why are you sticking tons of money in tomato sauce cans? Why don't you use that money to pay off your debts or whatever? I don't understand. I'm sure that's going to be explained, but I don't understand how that happens. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it's interesting. So that's going to keep me I'm going to watch anyway, even if they didn't find the money in the cans. But it is a question that I have. The other thing is, it's not a nitpick. It's just something that came to my mind when I was watching the ending. Now, I worked in many restaurants, but I was working in a restaurant several years ago. And so, if you worked in service, you know that sometimes people are needy and not very generous. And that happened to me. I had a huge table full of people. They didn't leave a tip, even though I gave them everything and I thought everything was great as far as I could tell. Just sometimes it happens, right? You get screwed over. And that happened to me, and I was really mad about it. And someone I worked with came up to me and she said, I would be upset if I were you too, but I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to allow the tip to affect my mood, because if it does, or if I let it, then I'm letting the money determine my life. And I don't want to give it that power. And I'll always remember that. I still remember it clearly. It was a beautiful moment. And that came to mind for me at the end when they were having all these problems. They're anxious. They do clearly love to do what they're doing. But when the money came in the cans that his brother had left for whatever reason, they were happy. And so I could see the argument, if someone wanted to make it, that what you're saying is that money brings you happiness. And I think there is kind of a dirty truth in that it does. Like, let's be honest, it does. Your life would be so much better if you had more money. But it's not going to solve all your problems, and it might present new problems, and it's not going to fix the core of you or your, who you are as a person, but it is going to alleviate a lot of problems. So there's like I don't know if it's a paradox, but there's a couple things happening there that might be contradictory. But that is one thing that I thought of for some reason. Like, I'm so happy that they're so happy, but at the same time, I thought, but they're happy because they have a bunch of money. So I don't know what the message is here. And given the feeling of the show and the nature of the show, you can tell that it's not gonna stay, that feeling. Also, quickly, I just want to say that I love the weird cryptic from beyond the grave message that the brother left him. Let it rip, I love you. And then giving him the clue about the cans. I thought that was great. I love that kind of stuff. It still doesn't explain why he would leave them in the cans, why he just wouldn't pay back his debts and leave his brother with a clean restaurant. But is it possible that he wanted his brother to, I don't know, like figure things out, that he was doing all this for him? But he wouldn't kill him. I mean, why wouldn't he let him into the restaurant? That's what I don't understand. Maybe he didn't want him to see him as a drug addict. And he thought, well, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave all this money for him to run this restaurant. I'm not just going to leave him burdened with this debt and all that. I don't know. Anyway, I just love the message of it. And I love that, that he got some closure, it seems like. Because I know I would feel like I got closure if someone I loved had died suddenly and they left a note. It's got to be an overwhelming feeling. But I thought it was a great moment. That's it. That's what I wanted to say about The Bear, season 1. I'm so happy that I watched it. I can't wait to watch season 2. I think there are like 5 and they just finished one, so I'm really excited to see it. By the way, the tall guy, the cousin, I don't remember his name, spot on Chicago accent. So anyway, let me know what you think of The Bear. Don't spoil anything if you can. If you do, whatever. I'll just block you from the channel. But and don't forget to sign up for Movie Raffle Club at the end of each month. If you're joining my Patreon, I pick one movie out of a hat and I send that person DVDs. Beautiful DVDs, right? Tangible mail for moral support and financial support. So anyway, The Bear, I can't wait to watch more.